When we open up Fusion 360, this is what we see. In the top right, there is multiple windows that have different functionalities. The first window is going to allow us to edit our sketch. We have functions like line, rectangle, circle, arc, polygon. All of this are going to be able to modify our 2D drawing. The next window is going to be able to take that 2D drawing into a 3D one by having functionalities like extrude, revolve, sweep. The next one is kind of the same thing. Press, pull, fillet, chamfer, all of these are in this window. In the next window, we're going to be able to put two different bodies into one. This window right here is the most important one. Inspecting, because we have this tool here, measure, as well as these other ones where we can like put force in our object to see if when it breaks, or to see basically how the force is applied and when our object is gonna break. Last but not least, in the bottom we have a couple different tools. The main two ones are the first one and the third one. The first one is orbit. Whenever we create our 3D shape, we're gonna be able to rotate it around it 360 degrees. And then the third one is just to move the planes around. The other ones are kind of irrelevant because they're just like zooming in, zooming out, but you can do that with your mouse, just like that. So now that we have learned the basic things, let's start creating the sketch. The model that I'm gonna create is gonna be on the website, so look at the website and follow along. The first thing that I wanna do is to create the actual sketch. So we go here to sketch and then we say create sketch. We can also click this icon here. Once we click the icon, we can see that we can put the sketch in 3 different planes. Since I'm gonna be creating the sketch from the top view, I'm gonna click the bottom. Now I can use the pen to move it around to wherever I feel more comfortable starting my drawing. And now I'm gonna use the rectangle tool to create the base of it. This doesn't really matter, and you don't need to be precise on where to put the 2 points of the rectangle, since later we can use the sketch dimension to modify the sides. So, as I said before, the sketch dimension, we're gonna find it all the way bottom in the sketch tool. Also, as you can see, there's this letter D, which means that we can just click the letter D and have the sketch dimension. Right now, let's click the letter D and we'll have the sketch dimension. Looking at the model, we know that this side is gonna be 1.75 inches long. And then the height of it is gonna be 1.25 inches long. Just in case that the object that you're trying to make has another units than inches, we can go into document settings, click units, click here, and then we can, put it into centimeters, millimeters, meters, inches, and foot. So now we use the pen tool to adjust the view, and we can use the mouse to, zoom in a little bit better. We can use the line tool to create that one line that looks in the middle from the model. Again, it doesn't really matter where we place the line because we can use the sketch dimension to put the line in the desired spot. Looking at the drawing, we know that this line is gonna be 0.5 inches apart from the side line. Now we're gonna go ahead and create these 2 lines right here and right here from the drawing. Again, we're gonna click D and set it to 0.25. This one is already 0.25, and let's check if this one is also 0.25, but I think so. No, 0.20, so we change it to 0.25. Boom. Now that we have this, we can go ahead and jump into probably the most complicated part and the last step for this 2D sketch. Looking at the model, we know that we need a cutout right here. There are many ways of doing this cutout, but I think that the simple one is by creating a line in the middle and then creating a couple lines here and there and then using the trim tool to cut it. So let's go ahead and doing it. The line in the middle, we can just click, the line, and we can slide it through till we see that one triangle that we just saw. This determines the middle of this long line. So we slide it all the way through till we see the other triangle. And now we don't really want this line, we just want this line as reference. In Fusion 360 and many other CAD softwares, the line of reference is also called construction line. So we can right click, and we can set it as construction line right here. Now, as we said, we're gonna use the line tool, and then we're just gonna, do like an approximation, because we can change it later. Now we use the sketch dimension, and we know that this part right here is gonna be 0.25 inches. And now to put this line in the middle, we can click the middle line and one of the side lines, and actually we can just type 0.25 over 2, because Fusion 360 lets you just do the math. You don't need to know what 0.25 over 2 actually is. I mean, if you know it, good for you. Now, the last step before we continue to create the 3D model is to set up how far this line is from one of the sides. By looking at the drawing, we know that this line is 1 inch apart from this side line. Now the last thing to do is to trim it, so we can click T just to slide the trim through this too. Now we have the 2D model. This is gonna be our drawing. And now we're gonna try to make it the 3D one. So we can go into modify, we can click press pull, and then what I like to do is first press pull the sides that are gonna be the longest or the highest. So we know that these two are gonna be 1.25 inches high. So we got it. Now, for most of us, we're gonna feel weird because we have lost the actual sketch, right? We have this, which is basically what we just did, but we don't know where the sketch is at. To know where the sketch is at, we can click sketches and then the light bulb. So now we know that this one is 1 inch, and then the base, or this large C-shaped part is gonna be 0.5 inches high. Finally, we can use the orbit to double check that the drawing is the one that we want. We can even remove the sketch to make it look a little bit more professional. But yeah, this is what it is. This is how to create a basic shape in Fusion 360. We have learned multiple tools to kind of give you guys a start on how to use Fusion 360, and it's really gonna help you for those beginner projects that you're gonna make in engineering class, or even if you just want to create different structures at home, if you have 3D printer at home, a CNC router, whatever you need. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed and learned a little bit.